I'm Peter Drury, and it's my chance to say that it is an absolute delight to have Jim Beglin beside me.
Glad to be here, Peter, and I'm ready to rumble.
There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. Well, as you can see, we've already started here. And a chance!
That, Peter, is wonderful reading of the game. Perfect positioning. Well played.
Chance, surely! Just off target.
Well, he looks a little annoyed with himself, Peter, but he hit it well enough. Better look next time, maybe.
Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. And it's Rice. Well seen. Saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
And here's Mohamed Salah. Plays it across. It's a mighty effort! Well, that is clearly not the outcome he wanted.
Well, you see what a difference it makes to have so many runners into the box. Makes life so much harder for that defence.
Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
Yeah, Kylian Mbappe.
Mohamed Salah! And he has kept it out somehow.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it. Well, look, they know they've got a height advantage, and it's time for them to use it.
And now a sudden chance to counter. Rice. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
The ball goes in. Oh, smashing header! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
Well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Not the most convincing of passes. Hernandez. 0-0 still. No lack of chances, though.
I actually think both teams are playing okay here. We've had some good attempts, although they've mounted to nothing so far.
Passing is crisp and sharp. Tries to play it through. And Adams. And it's Van Dijk. Alexander-Arnold. For Valverde. Nicely weighted ball. And he's managed to get free. Now the ball in. Alexander-Arnold. And it's Rice. Valverde. That's a sharp pass. 15 minutes till half-time. Arsenal looking to pass their way. It's Salah! Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. And that was nowhere near his best. Now it's Doku.
This is the time you need that pace.
And that pass just didn't quite work. Rice. For Valverde. And it's Hernandez. And it's Alexander-Arnold. For Valverde. Haaland is onto this. Haaland! Arsenal! Arsenal take the lead. Piercing, and with pinpoint accuracy, he forces it through.
The keeper deserves some sympathy there. He may not have seen that until too late.
Arsenal have broken through. It's 1-0.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender.
He's given it away. The only breakthrough then came late in the first half here, and that is the difference. And the score is 1-0. Looking to play him in. Played out wide.
Deserved a better ball there. He's right to be disappointed.
Rice. And it's Alexander-Arnold.
Teremos minuto de
Bellingham.
acréscimo.
Arsenal finding their passes. And that's been intercepted. And there is the half-time whistle. Well, it's certainly simmered along nicely so far. Just the one goal in it, and it's all still very much up for grabs.
On the evidence of what we've seen, they're worth their lead. There was genuine intensity and purpose behind what they brought to the game. I think they'll want a strong start just after the break, though, to force the issue that bit more.
Arsenal are 1-0 up at half-time, and it's all to play for.
Substituição.
There's the start of the second half.
Well, it's been tight, Peter, but I'm expecting things to open up now and we get some free-flowing football.
And this is Neymar. Hernandez with the delivery. And that was very necessary. João Pedro.
They've got to be quick moving this forward.
A heavy challenge. Nothing wrong with that tackle. Ball won cleanly. And no, that was never going to make it. Arsenal come out of the tunnel having undergone a change at half-time.
Well, we're certainly going to see a change in personnel. We'll see if the system changes with it.
Pedri. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Mignon punts it upfield. And here's Neymar. Hernandez looking to hit the byline here.
Well, that might be the first time they've gone long, Peter. They've clearly been told to try something different.
So, Jim, is that the manager telling the forwards that they must stay forward for now?
Well, I think he just is concentrating on the shape here, and he wants them to press.
Decent chance! It's there! Two to the good, and they are purring, absolutely purring.
Well, a 1-2 is easier to pull off than most dribbles, and I think we've just seen the proof.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
Yeah, and you have to say that the contrast of moods are very visible now. They really fancy themselves to go and wrap things up.
Now it's João Pedro. Arsenal perhaps contemplating their next change here. Valverde. Hernandez. For Rice. Oh, there's a probing ball. Great vision. Oh, super ball. Shot a goal. Oh, it's fallen kindly here. Relentless. Just relentless. And they are pulling clear here. And he's only too grateful to capitalise on the keeper's misfortune.
Look, that's one of the first things you learn, whether you're a striker or not. Just anticipate a goalkeeping parry or spillage, and sometimes you'll get lucky. It'll come your way.
Arsenal find a position of real big header. He's played it back. Plays a sharp little ball here. Now, can they get him away? Pass is just off target. Barcola is sporting a guilty look after that.
Ah, he made it look a bit predictable.
Pedri. Adams. And it's Hernandez. It's Pedri. Adams. It's Pedri. Neymar. Now it's Haaland. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. Haaland. Camavinga tries to pass it through. Now it's Barcola. Well, he's seen that early, used a certain sixth sense.
Well, it seems as if he's just had a momentary lapse and slipped into tunnel vision, because he had good options around him and he failed to get his head up.
Now it's João Pedro. And the assistant referee rightly gives him offside.
Substituição em campo. Camisa
So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while.
Deixando o campo para a entrada de camisa 23, camisa 4.
Now it's Neymar. Arsenal are closing in on a comfortable win. Out towards the flank. Are well cut out, no margin for error there at all.
Substituição em campo.
Couple of changes then in quick succession.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
Now it's Doku. Well, good play on the left-hand side here. Now it's João Pedro. Doku picks it up out wide. Up he goes! Arsenal clearly now in lead preservation mode. Alexander-Arnold. Can he get on the end of this? Haaland might just make this. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. And the shot! Keeper's got his work done. Valverde plays it all the way forward. And he's been shifted off it. Rice. That's the end. So a real showpiece win. This lot was simply far too clever for their opponents, and despite their best endeavours, it has ended in an easy win. Haaland claiming the Man of the Match award, and there is very little room for argument. So welcome one and all to a picturesque evening here. A clear night, all the ingredients for a showcase game that the passionate crowd demands. I'm Peter Drury, and it's a pleasure to be alongside Jim Beglin.
Thanks for the intro, Peter. I've been soaking up the atmosphere and I'm really looking forward to what lies in store.
There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. If you're just joining us, we are already underway. Now it's Mohamed Salah. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. Oh, he's done very well to take that back. Can he get it through? Haaland! Could move up a gear here. Now it's Ribéry. Bellingham. Mbappe. Hernandez gets into some space. Van Bauten attempts a clearance. Well, it's fair to presume, I suppose, that Lionel Messi will, as almost always, Jim, be carrying a huge burden of expectation here.
Yeah, but it won't bother him at all, Peter. He just delivers without fail time and time again, and often in a way only he can.
Absolutely. So I wonder what the little magician will have in store for us today.
Well, all I shall say is expect the unexpected.
Hernandez. Arsenal controlling the possession in this early phase. Shifted it to the flank. Alexander-Arnold.
Well, it seems as if the message has been issued by both managers: don't concede the opener.
Van Dijk. Oh, that looks a cracking ball. He's got away. Plays it. Chance! Goal! Arsenal! The breakthrough strike. He watched it all the way, and the finish was unerring.
Yeah, it all came from some really smart movement, Peter. Did the defence let themselves down by not picking him up? I think the boss won't be amused.
And that's it. Well, that's it for tonight's match, so it just remains for me to thank Jim Beglin alongside me and to wish you all a very good evening.
With the owner of a blue car parked outside the stadium gate, kindly remove it as it is about to be towed away.
So welcome one and all to a picturesque evening here. A clear night, all the ingredients for a showcase game that the passionate crowd demands. I'm Peter Drury, and joining me here, our expert, Jim Beglin.
Well, thanks for that, Peter. I'm more than ready to get going here.
And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are... And he's had a hit! That is a super hit, but it was always just off target.
Well, it was a confident attempt, and he made it look like a doddle the way he generated that power. Tony Adams is the standout player, Peter.
Well, he does stand out, Jim, of course, but specifically how?
Because he's a colossal presence who seems to thrive the tougher the job gets. His level of commitment is an inspiration for everyone to follow.
Closest thing to a manager on the pitch.
Can't argue with that.
That is a brilliant interception. Valverde. Salah. And Alexander-Arnold. Valverde. Pedri. Koundé. Anything noteworthy in the early part of the match, Jim?
Well, both sides seem happy with the patient approach for now, still trying to have a good look at one another.
And it's Rijkaard. Timber. Rijkaard. Maldini. And Koundé. Maldini. Koundé. Paris looking to pass their way through. Mbappe! And that's the keeper's ball. Arsenal are still to register a shot on target. As a matter of fact, a shot of any type. Alexander-Arnold. And it's Valverde. It's Bellingham. Haaland. Maldini did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. Batistuta has it in a wide position. Mbappe. Oh, shooting chance! And the referee has brought play back and shown him a yellow card. And we have our very first corner. Arsenal are looking to go forward now. Bellingham. Valverde. And it's Rice. Mbappe wins the duel this time. Applies the finish! And collective relief etched on the faces of the defenders.
That's great industry from the front line there. A lot of chasing, a lot of pressure, and they forced the error.
So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while.
Well, I think he'll undoubtedly add more movement and fluidity in the final third with his passing range.
Ruben Neves. And it's Alexander-Arnold. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Adams makes the interception. Ruben Neves. Alexander-Arnold. And the return pass. Now it's Haaland. Mohamed Salah. Arsenal have rung the changes already. They could, of course, make further alterations at half-time. Hernandez with the delivery. And that has been knocked clear. Raul. Chance here to counter. Lovely pass, but can he get there? No, not quite on the same wavelength.
Well, he was given the time and room initially to hold on to the ball, but eventually he was squeezed that bit harder and the task became too much. I think he's got to be a little quicker in his distribution then and get others into the match.
Just eases him off the ball. That's a good ball out wide. Mignon gets his hands on it and the danger is averted. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. And anyone who's joined us late, I can confirm that in terms of goals, at least you've missed nothing. Rice. Adams proves too strong. Van Dijk. Mbappe chasing after it. That is ended up in no man's land. Ruben Neves. And it's Alexander-Arnold. For Valverde. And it's Salah. Adams. And it's Conte. And that's really well manoeuvred. That's beautifully weighted. Van Dijk. And the whistle goes for half-time. A decent enough half, but neither side able to get on the score sheet. Time for some fresh ideas in the second period, perhaps. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Well, it's been nothing but frustration, really, Peter. I think the team as a whole has to take more risks, but they really need to up their quality too.
Still waiting for this to take off. It's goalless at half-time.
Changement. Le numéro 11. Pour le remplacer.
Here we go again.
Le numéro 15. Changement.
So neither side has yet broken through. There were better options before the ball was lost. Easy to say from up here, I know. Adams. Pedri. And here's Mbappe. Out towards the flank. Haaland. And here's Yamal. In with the challenge. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Now it's Mbappe. Now it's Rafael Leao. Rijkaard. And he has been fouled there. And that's going to be a booking. Oh, important interception. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
Paris clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
A noticeable change in the approach to defending here. Much more in your face.
Yeah, better communication and lots of contact seems to be the route to quietening him down now.
Well, here's a man adored by many, even deified by some. And here's Yamal. Some really good ball movement. Knocks it out wide. And it's Hernandez. Crossed into the box. But that is good defending. It's been repelled. It is still anyone's game, 0-0. Ruben Neves. Arsenal perhaps contemplating their next change here. And the shot! He scores!
Look, that was a technical interaction of great football. That has gone down a treat.
So the first moment of real significance.
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence, and all of a sudden, bang.
Can he get on the end of this? And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Mbappe, Raul is having a shot! Oh, he's brought him down, and it is a penalty. And that is a huge moment in the context of the game. Games hinge on moments like this. We're level. Not a twitch, not a blink.
A picture of confidence. That was never missing.
Après 68 minutes de jeu par le numéro 1. Changement. Le numéro 10. Le numéro 19.
So, time for changes on both sides, actually.
Le numéro 20.
Paris grabbed the equaliser, and we're all square.
Such a big goal, Peter. Just when the opposition thought they could turn the screw, they're back to square one again. The manager will be absolutely delighted with such a response.
Yamal, nicely weighted ball. Timber kept his eye on it, and he's there. Rice, and it's Neymar. Koundé, early ball out from the back. Looking to play him in. Hernandez. Pedri. Into the last quarter of an hour. Yamal, Pedri, and it's Neymar.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Yamal for Rice, and it's Neymar. He's played it back. Vitinha, not much subtlety about that challenge. That has been slung wide. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Oh, that's a key interception. Into the last 5 minutes. Vitinha. Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing.
They've got to make this nice and quick.
Nice-looking ball. Oh, the chip pass hasn't quite come off.
Look, there has to be more urgency here. The ball has to get to the other end much faster.
Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick. And he has shown him a yellow card.
Changement. Le numéro 21, le numéro 6. À leur place, le numéro 9. Hazard.
It's a pretty loose
Le numéro
pass.
16.
Corner given.
All the big boys are set for this. It's like land of the giants in there.
Il y aura 4 minutes.
It's
de
the keeper's ball.
transition.
They'll have one final crack at it. Oh, that's a foul. Free kick's been given. Rice. It's Pedri. Neymar. And it's Hernandez. 4 extra minutes added on. And that will be the final act. Well, nothing to separate the sides in the end. Not for the want of desire, drive or determination.